Welcome back to another class on the Treasures of Mishnayot. We are working in Mishnayot of Berachot, Perek, Dalad, Mishna. All of this will be part 4 of the Shi'ur. The Mishnah begins, Tefilat mincha, Zman Tefilat Shemona Esrei Shel Mincha, the time of the prayer of Mincha, Ad HaErev, until the evening, meaning Ad Shkiyat HaChamam, until sunset. He brings this down the name of Rabbeinu Yonah and Hagra, the Gaon Vilna. So comes the Mishna and it says, Tefilat mincha ad ha'erev. Until when can one daven the Shemona Esrei of the afternoon prayer? You have until sunset. Continues the Kahati, Zman Tefilat mincha nigba lifi zman hakravat hatamid shel ben arbaim. The time of the Shemona Esrei of the afternoon prayer, it's established according to the time of when they would sacrifice the Korban Tamid Shel Ben Harbaim, the Korban Tamid of the afternoon. If you guys recall in part 2 of the Shi'ur, we spoke about the Korban Tamid, which it means the daily sacrifice, the daily offering that they would bring every single day, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. The morning one is called Korban Tamid Shel Shachar. The afternoon one is called Korban Tamid Shel Ben Ha'arbaim. And we said that Shacharit and Mincha, they correspond to the Korbanot that they would bring back then in the days of the Beit HaMikdash. So comes the Kahat and he tells you, he says like this, you should know that the time of the Shemona Esrei of Mincha, it's equal, that we established that time according to the time when they would bring the Korban Tamid of the afternoon. ולפי שהיה התמיד קרב בכל יום בתשע שעות ומחצה, and since the Korban Tamid of the afternoon was sacrificed every single day, 9.5 hours into the day, tiknu zmano mitesha sha'ot u'mechta. They instituted the time that when can one begin to recite the Shemona Esrei of Mincha from 9.5 hours into the day. Vihi hanikret mincha katana, and this is called mincha katana. We're about to learn different terminologies. We're going to see mincha gedola, we're going to see mincha katana, and we're also going to see plaga mincha. There's different names, there's different terminologies. But before we do that, let's just draw this out. Let's get a better idea of what's going on over here. If I'm going to take a perfect day, right? Let's just say you take a perfect day. Okay, if we're going to take a perfect day, so 9.5 hours into the day, they would go ahead and they would slaughter, they would sacrifice the Korban Tamid Shel Ben Arbaim. So let's count. From 6 a.m. in the morning, 9.5 hours into the day. So we have, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I need 9.5 hours into the day. So 9.5 hours into the day, it will give me the time of 3:30. At 3:30 p.m., that is the time when they would go ahead and they would bring the Korban Tamid Shel Ben Ha'arbaim. Oh, that's when they did it. Since we correspond the Mincha prayer to Korban Tamid Shel Ben Ha'arbaim, we're going to tell you one is allowed to start davening Mincha in a perfect day. You're allowed to start davening Mincha at 3:30. This is called mincha katana. Let's write over here, mincha katana. This is one of the first terminologies. Continues the Kahati, and he says, "Ulefish be'erev Pesach," and since on erev Pesach shechal liyot be'erev Shabbat, and whenever erev Pesach would fall out to be on erev Shabbat, hayu shechotin et hatamid, they would slaughter the korban tamid of the ben arbaim b'shel sha'ot u'mechza. Amru, they're into 6 hours, 6.5 hours into the day, and they said, Shamitpalel achare shesh sha'ot u'mechta yatsa, that one who davens after 6.5 hours into the day, he fulfills obligation. It's like a b'di'evet situation. So let's do this. If Erev Pesach falls out on Erev Shabbat, they would have to go ahead and they would have to make the Korban, they would have to slaughter the Korban Tamishah ben Arbaim earlier, 6.5 hours into the day. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.5 hours into the day right over here. 6.5 hours. 6.5 hours into the day is going to give me 12:30 p.m. Since this is the time on the Erev Pesach, which fell out on Erev Shabbat, they would slaughter the Korban Tamid over here. Came the Chachamim and they told us anybody's going to daven now from 12:30 and on Mincha, Yata, you fulfilled your obligation. Once this time came of 12:30 p.m., the time, the obligation for one to daven came. This is called the big mincha. It's called mincha gedola. So we have mincha katana. That is the best time to actually daven, after mincha katana. But the obligation even starts after 12:30 p.m., which is called mincha gedola. So anybody who davens after the here, he fulfills obligation. Again, that's the way the Mishnah sounds, that yata. Yata means like you fulfill your obligation, fine. Because remember, every day they would bring the Korban Tamishah ben Arbaim 9.5 hours into the day. Just because when Erev Pesach would fall out on Erev Shabbat, they would bring it 6.5 hours into the day. Or because of that one time, we're going to tell you, Mincha can also start from there. Continues the Kahati, and he says, this is the opinion of the Rambam in Hilchot Tefillah Perek Gimel Mishna Bet. 1 minute, please. I need some time. Thank you. It's going to be a little bit more than 1 minute. Nimtanu Limdim comes out that we learn Shezman Mincha Gadola Madchil Mishesh Sha'ot Umechta, that the time for Mincha Gadola begins from 6.5 hours into the day. Memachatzita Sha'a Acharei HaToharaim, half an hour after the afternoon. So basically what we have over here, half an hour after 12 o'clock. So basically at 12:30 p.m. Vizman Mincha Katana Hu Mitesha Sha'ot Umechta Ad HaErev. The Zman of Mincha Katana is from 9.5 hours into the day until the evening. So from 9.5 hours into the day, which is going to be at 3:30 p.m., until the evening, which is going to go till 6 o'clock. Continues the Kahati, that all this, right, what we just did, that was the opinion of the Tanna Kama. So let's do like this. The Tanna Kama said yesterday, when it comes to Tefillat HaShachar, you have until midday. When it comes to the Tefillat HaMincha, he says you have until Shkia, until sunset, Ad HaErev, until sunset. Rabbi Yehuda said when it comes to Tefillat HaShachar, you have until the 4th hour of the day. Rabbi Yehuda is going to tell you now, when it comes to Mincha, you only have until Plaga Mincha. Another terminology we're going to learn. Plaga Mincha literally means half of Mincha. So let me just tell you now like this and we'll see. We're going to take from here, from 3:30 till 6. We'll see it's 2.5 hours left. So he's going to tell you have only up to half that time. An hour and 15 minutes after 3:30. Up to that's when you can daven. Up to when you can daven mincha, not more. So let's see that. Rabbi Yehuda says, Ad plaga mincha. You have the opportunity to be able to daven the mincha prayer until ad chati zman mincha, until half of the time of the mincha. Meaning to say, since the time of the mincha begins 9.5 hours into the day, Nimtad comes out. It comes out in a perfect day. You have 2.5 hours until the night. That's what you have to do. You have to plug a mincha. You have to, from mincha katan until sunset, you have to make it into half. Rabbi Yehuda held shetefilat mincha hi adam machatzit oto hazman. Rabbi Yehuda held that the mincha prayer is until half of that time. So if we're going to go with our time right now, it's going to be from, let's say from from 3:30. Give me till 4:30, 4:45. According to Rabbi Yehuda, you could daven mincha only until 4:45. That's going to be called Plaga Mincha. And I want to see something. Let me just see the Zmaniyot today. Let's see over here. Over here it says, again, because the Sha'ot Zmaniyot is every single, every hour is 49 minutes, he says over here. But, I just want to give you an idea. So look how it works. So Chatzot today, 1 second, let's do Mincha Gedolah today is 12:37. Mincha Katana is 2:59. Palaga Mincha is 4:11. Shki is 5:02. Again, we're going with Sha'ot Zmaniyot, it's seasonal minutes, but that's not what I want to show. I want to try to show you that if a person would daven today, Rabotai, what's going to end up happening is, according to the Tana Kama, you would have until 5:02 to daven the Mincha prayer. According to Rabbi Yehuda, you would only have until 4:11. Because remember, Plaga Mincha, you will take from Mincha Katana until sunset in half. So it comes out over here in our perfect day. We're going to tell you over here that an hour and 15 minutes after 3:30 is going to give me 4:45 p.m. And from 4:45 p.m., another hour and 15 minutes is going to be 6 o'clock. So that's why he's telling you over here that until Plaga Mincha, half of Mincha, and that's what it actually means. So let's just write this down also right over here. We have over here like this. From 3:30 till 6 is 2.5 hours. We divide 2.5 hours into 2. We get an hour and 50 minutes. Plus an hour and 50 minutes till 1:30. We get 4:45. So according to Rabbi Yehuda, you can only daven until 4:45 in a perfect day. And that's called Plaga Mincha. Now you guys are getting the drift. So whenever you see Mincha Gedolah, you understand why. That's because of Erev Pesach, which fell out on the Erev Shabbat. That is the most lenient opinion. But really, the Korban was sacrificed at 9.5 hours into the day, which is at 3:30 p.m. And that contribute that which is Mincha Katana. And that contribute, it's Plaga Mincha, it's half. From the time from Mincha Katana until sunset, you take half the time, you add it back to 3:30, and you get that time up to when you're able to go ahead and daven. So if it's where Rabbi Yehuda held, Shetefilat Mincha, he ad machatzit oto hazman. That the prayer of the afternoon prayer is until half of the time between Mincha Katana and sunset. Divided, added back to the Mincha Katana, until then, that will be your time. Dahainu Sheva Vereva. He says over here, which is going to be an hour and 15 minutes, because 2 hours and 30 minutes divided by 2 is going to give me an hour and 15 minutes. So he holds that you are able to daven Shabbat Esrei an hour and 15 minutes after Mincha Katana.